on the gridiron or courtside, you know what time it is. It's
Sports plus life. Sports plus life.
ringside or front court or field pass, we ballin', no. Knuckle up or buckle up, I tell it like it is when I'm on my show. Home run, slam dunk, knockout, or got some dough.
Sports plus life.
Yeah.
Sports plus life.
Ah.
Yo, 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 yo. What's up? What's really good? It's your boy Brandon Brevon Towns, host of that show called Sports Plus Life. You feel me? Oh man, you know what's going down today, bro. So guess what? Guess what? Turn it off, turn it off, turn it all the way off. Now cut. Yeah, let's go. Okay. Please allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Brandon Brevon Towns, host of that show called Sports Plus Life, that there sports podcast where we talk about all of the necessary topics in sports and all of the necessary topics in life. How is everybody doing out there today? It is a beautiful, heat-filled Monday, July the 18th, 2000 of the 22, and do you know what that means? That means tomorrow is my birthday, yeah. Blessed to see another year, for real, man. I'm serious. When I think about last year, at this time last year, I was just getting out the hospital from having a stroke, not a mini stroke, not a mild stroke, a full-blown stroke. This point in time last year, I couldn't even see straight. Like, God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. And I'm going to tell you something. While my birthday is tomorrow, I have had a good time this weekend. I done turned up. I done turned up this week, and I was skeptical about Saturday night because, you know, they hit your boy with about 200 stop delivery at Amazon. I was like, yo, y'all trying to work my behind off, but you know, I was moving, knocked that out. Then my homeboy came through. We went out to Short Pump, supposed to go to the Mona Lounge, but we got there a little too late. But and that line was out there. So we ended up going to this place called South Beach or something like that, or Beach House, something like that. It was another a bar up in Short Pump, and we had a real good time, like a real good time Saturday night. And then yesterday, I had cooked some food on the grill early in the day, had my peoples come over, and I'm talking about like my favoriteest people in the world. Outside of my bro Sean, cousin David, but my homeboy Marcus, Aaron, Devon, Eddie, Leisha, like Marcus and Aaron had their significant others, and Marcus and Rock beat the hell out of me in spades yesterday. I played spades for about 5 hours. Straight, and my little big bro beat the hell out of me yesterday, man. So I'm gonna get you back. Trust me, I'm going to get you back. But all jokes aside, I had such a good time. One of my coworkers, B, came over. I had such a blast. It was so much fun. I can't even front. Like, it was wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful. Friday night and Saturday, and like we had fun. And so today, I was dragging early in the day. I ain't even gonna lie. I was dragging. Like, I got up a little past 10. You know, but I really didn't do nothing. I just pretty much just laid there for like another 2 hours. Of course, fed the kids, but outside of doing that, I just laid there. But I mean, so blessed to see another birthday. So blessed to have just friends who are just more like family to me. And it was great. It was absolutely wonderful. So before we get on the topic of sports, I'm going to be on the topic of life. And it's one thing that I have said before in regards to life and relationships, okay? If you're not happy in a relationship and you don't see any scenario where it's going to get better, then you got to do what you got to do for your own mental, for your own happiness. And I mean, and I've heard this before. Well, just stick around for the kids. That stuff doesn't always work because eventually the kids are going to figure out, hey, mommy and daddy aren't happy. And it'll trickle down to them. And I was like I said, if there's no scenario where you could see it working out, then you just have to handle your business again for your own mental. But please, this is one thing I just say, and I'm bringing this up for a reason. I'm not naming names, but don't be messy about, like, if you don't want to be with somebody anymore, go about it the correct way. Don't be messy. Don't be messy, and because you think the grass is greener on the other side, and somebody done sweet talked you and told you everything that you wanted to hear or needed to hear that you wasn't getting from the person at home, and now you done effed up. And then the person that you effed up with, they got their own thing going on. So you're not just, now people's lives are now taking a totally different direction because of irresponsible, messy, and selfish acts of two people. Two people do something, but four people, and that's just adults, four people's lives are now affected and going in a totally different direction than what they thought it was going to go. When kids evolved, that makes it even worse. And being on the receiving end of situations like that, that's a dark, ugly place to be in. It really is, because when you have that bombshell dropped on you, there's so many things that are swirling through your head. You start questioning everything. You start questioning yourself. You start questioning that person. You start questioning your faith in people in general. You may even start questioning your faith spiritually at that given moment in time. But the main question is just going to be, why? Just why? Why? And that's to the significant other. Why? And sometimes you get an answer. Sometimes you don't. No answer will be satisfying because the deed has already been done. Now there's something that's been broken that's hard to repair. I'm not going to say it's impossible, because it's not. Nothing's impossible. I've had to learn, sometimes the good way, sometimes the bad way. But something has been broken now that is hard to regain back, and that's trust. And you start questioning everything. You start questioning every single aspect about your life, about you guys' life as a unit, about their life, and the person who take two to tango. You start questioning the other person too. And the questions usually have violent intentions, violent thoughts that are in your mindset at that specific moment in time. That's a very long road to recovery, especially if you are very emotional, if you are as emotionally invested as you should be, to a person who you love, to a person that children are involved. That's a long road to recovery. I'll just tell you straight up, shit gave me PTSD. I'm not even joking. Really did. I talked to somebody, the job I was working at had on-call therapist, and that's straight up a therapist said, yeah, you suffering from PTSD. I said, I bet I am. Like, it's not funny, but it's real. And it just sucks because somebody was being messy. Because somebody was being messy, irresponsible, and selfish. I'm not judging anybody, but I have been in that exact same situation. I've been on the receiving end of that exact same situation, and it sucks. It really does. It really sucks. And it can take a hit on your self-confidence. I know it did with me. My self-confidence took such a kick in the nuts when that situation happened. So I understand how people can feel when they find themselves in that position. I don't wish it on anybody. But again, if you're not happy in a relationship and you see no result being the one that you would want it to be, gracefully bow out. Do it the responsible adult way. Don't be messy, because then that's when the shit hits the fan, straight up. But anyway, a couple of weeks, I say about 3 weeks ago, I had my homeboy on here. I'll call him Mr. Anonymous. I call him Mr. Anonymous. But we were talking about a relationship situation. that one of his friends are in. And the lady in said situation, if you guys don't remember, you should remember this: watermelon salad. Am I correct?
Yep.
So let's revisit this checklist, okay? So said lady works, but unfortunately doesn't have her own place. No, I mean, I understand that happens. You know, that's just how it is sometimes. Has kids, doesn't live with her. None of her kids live with her, and she doesn't cook. Yeah, ouch. And I simply said, okay, you know, this strictly has to be physical, because when that fairy dust wears off, and you have all of those things checked on the box of the checklist that you really don't want to have, how's that relationship now going, sir?
It is now over, to my understanding.
And why do you think that is?
Well, I know it all boils down to, you know, you got to look at the hand that you're dealt when you meet somebody new. Like the writings were on the wall in the beginning, in my opinion. You try to look at what a person physically looks like without seeing the other barriers from that physical attraction. Which, you know, don't get me wrong, it's nothing wrong to be attracted that way to your person, but
I mean, that's how a lot of relationships start off. You're looking at the physical.
uh-huh.
And I have seen said lady, and she's a looker.
Mm-hmm.
She's a looker, but go ahead, continue.
So I just feel like, you know, all those that writings on the wall, and, you know, a person that's not generally happy with themselves, you know, they'll bring that into the relationship. Like prime example, you know, where his headspace is, he's more focused on trying to establish his financials, and there'll be times where, you know, they were supposed to go, like, she wants to go out and do stuff, and there's times where he's just like, look, I'm trying to save money, and, you know, she'll say toxic things, like, for example, oh, if you didn't just want to hang out with me and my friends, you could have said that. Like, what? Like, where does that even come from when your man tells you he's trying to stay in? And then he also told me a story about how they got to arguing over a toll or something. I don't know. I still don't really understand that. That might be something we'll talk about next time. But apparently they got to arguing over a toll road. I'm still trying to understand what that was about. You know, that Wizard of Oz type stuff. Yeah, the yellow brick road, I guess. Follow the yellow brick road. You know, not too sure. But, you know, will they get back together? I don't know. Will he have a chance to get another different type of salad other than a watermelon salad? I don't know, but what I can tell you is, you know, tune in next week for next episode of some Dragon Balls.
You said to Dragon Ball Z.
It ain't got no sense, I know. But but yeah, I wish the best from, you know, for my person, my friend, you know. But, you know, I don't know. You know, he just said he's at the point now where he just wants his peace. He said his peace is everything. He worked hard for it. So now he's back. He just feels like he doesn't want to be back at square one, but he wants to be at peace with him. And she came into his environment taking away his peace initially. So
that peace is so priceless. I'm telling you, that piece is priceless. And again, now this has the relationship that we're talking about right now has nothing to do with what I opened the show with. This is a totally different subject matter. But your peace is priceless because, everybody knows somebody where it's always something. We all have that friend or acquaintance where it's always something wrong going on. And they can sap your energy, and that to me, that's not worth it.
Right.
That's really not worth it, because if I don't have the energy to deal with myself because of dealing with you, then maybe I need to keep you at arm's length. If not, separate myself from you altogether. And you never know who's going to be like that in your life. I mean, it could be a significant other. And again, I'm glad that this relationship was so young, so new, nothing, clean breakup, no kids, nothing like that, clean breakup, whatever. But in other situations, like I was talking about earlier, like what I opened up the show with, if you're not happy, go about it the correct, respectful way. Don't be messy, because you don't know how many lives can be affected by irresponsibleness, irresponsible acts, and selfishness. Now, I mean, unfortunately, because some people will say, well, can't love just carry the day? Well, it should, but it doesn't. I can tell you that right now off of experience. I can love somebody until the cows come home, but if nothing else about me and said person is meshing, then love can't carry the day. Because if that's what you depended on, if love carrying, like I love this person so much I'll put up with anything, you are running the risk of being a miserable ass person. Just running the risk. I mean, from your own personal experience, sir, would you agree or disagree with that?
I 100% agree. If you constantly see the writing on the wall, and if you're constantly like being unhappy, staying unhappy because you're trying to aim to please somebody else all the time, you can't sacrifice your own happiness at the expense of somebody else. You can't.
Especially if you're not getting anything in return, like happiness in return.
Exactly.
It's not, because one thing they always say about relationships, well, you got to compromise, and absolutely you do have to compromise. But if that's not happening, like you said, you see the writing on the wall, then it's no good. And the thing about it is, there's some situations where you can see the writing on the wall, but you still choose to ignore it because love is going to carry the day. Shit.
Yeah.
And I'm not anti-relationship. I'm not anti-relationship at all. But as you know, I'm just getting out of a 12-year thing, and I'm new at this whole being single game. But what I am right now enjoying the most, and don't get me wrong, I love my kid's mom, love her unconditionally. But I have a peace right now that I enjoy, I don't take for granted, and I pray and thank God for every day. In the midst of praying for her and my kids every day. Because peace is priceless and peace is powerful. I may be alone for a long time because I don't have the tolerance, I don't have the patience anymore for people's BS. I'm just being serious.
Amen.
And the thing about me is I love to love people. I love to love people, and I love to be loved. But when you have taken so much, man, look, each emotional scar is like a body blow. You keep taking body blows. Eventually you just, you say no mas, you wave the white flag. I can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
You just say, I can't take it anymore. And you just need your time because you need your peace.
Yeah.
And peace is better than a fucking watermelon salad. I still say somebody should throw a pie in her face for that one. Which that's neither here nor there. But anyway, I just wanted, when you told me that, I was just kind of curious, because we kind of both sat here a few weeks ago and predicted, I don't know if that one's going to last long. But
yeah.
But I just wanted to holler at you, bro, Mr. Anonymous.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
And hey, till next time, bro.
Yes, sir, man. Y'all be easy.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right. Again, man, that piece is something. And I just pray. And now the situation I was talking about earlier, I just pray for everybody in that situation. I really do. Because it's no fun. I mean, like I said, these are life-altering decisions that sometimes people don't understand or don't think about because they're so stuck in their bubble of I'm doing me, I'm getting what I want, I'm getting what I need, to hell with everybody else. That's life-altering stuff. That's life-altering decisions that are being made that they're being made, but they're not well thought through. So, it is what it is. Just a little segment of real talk that we had to have. Okay? So now as far as the sports goes, let's get to it. Oh, the dog days of summer. I think I can speak for a lot of people when I say this. I am ready for some football. But I must say this about this offseason in the NBA. It has been very entertaining. And even though, of course, really starting to be centering around the Kevin Durant trade request. But now also the Utah Jazz will be listening to deals involving Donovan Mitchell. But that's not even where I'm going to start. Russell Westbrook is apparently no longer with his agent. His agent, Thad Voucher, he has been his agent his entire time, his entire career, his entire 14-year career. And the agent had to walk away, saying a possible 4 trades in 4 years. The market is pretty much telling you that you may need to, and these aren't quoted, these aren't exact words used, but this is the way that I'm looking at it is, if you possibly could be traded for the 4th time in 4 years, the market is not thinking very highly of you, and maybe you need to start reevaluating the way you view yourself as a player. Now, Russell Westbrook a couple of weeks ago opted into his $47 million. Well, what else was he supposed to do? Because I have never seen such a fall from grace as far as a superstar basketball player to just pretty much being turned into a clown show. And to be honest with you, I'm not gonna front. Undisputed with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp really contributed to that because they, on a routine basis, would humiliate Russell Westbrook. That is a very popular show. I love it, even though I would say this. I think if I was to ever debate Skip Bayless, I would absolutely murder him in a debate because I would not allow him to use any of the tricks and the trades that he does. But they clown Russell Westbrook the entire season. At first, during the first half of the season, I was on Westbrook too. But then when I sat back and I thought about it, I said, there's 13 years of footage on this dude. This is who this player is. This is what LeBron James and Anthony Davis signed off on. I wasn't gonna, from that point on, I'm like, what am I blaming Westbrook for? This is the type of player, this is who he is. This is who he was in Oklahoma City. This is who he was in Houston. This is who he was in Washington. What was everybody thinking we thought, well, at least some people thought that, Russell changed his game because everybody plays great with LeBron. Everybody plays great with LeBron. And that just has not been the case. And this has just been, Westbrook, who's from Long Beach, grew up loving the Lakers. this has just been a train wreck of train wrecks as far as his tenure with the Los Angeles Lakers. I think he wants to get traded, but of course he was not going to opt out and become a free agent because his value has diminished so much. He was not going to get $47 from anywhere, $47 million, excuse me. He was not going to get $47 million from anybody else. His stock has plummeted. His agent has bailed out. And so, and nobody, I made a funny skit about it a couple weeks ago about him possibly being traded for Kyrie Irving, but nobody wants Russell Westbrook's contract either. And even if he's to get traded to any team, said team would probably just buy him out. And if he doesn't accept the buyout, then for damn sure ain't nobody gonna trade for him. So the Lakers may be stuck with him next season. And I'm just like, you know, it is what it is. Because I love Westbrook. I love Westbrook as a player. I said this when I first started this podcast 4 years ago, almost 4 years ago, Thanksgiving 2018. I said my favorite players post-Kobe was Russell Westbrook and Jimmy Butler because they come after it. Now, Russell Westbrook's basketball IQ can definitely be put into question because he has faded dreadfully. This is not a good fit for the Lakers. We may be stuck with it. I'm wondering what Darvin Ham is really going to do once the season starts, because he's saying all of the right things. Whoever's doing his PR is doing a masterful job because he's saying all of the right things. But if the season starts and we do have Russell Westbrook on our team, what are you going to do? Because remember, last week there was the Summer League games. LeBron was there. Westbrook was there. They didn't sit together and blah, 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 blah. I didn't say much about it last week because to me, that's much ado about nothing. That's just stupid. I understand it's content, but come on. I would talk more about LeBron playing in the Drew League, whatever that is, a couple days ago and, looking great. Not playing high NBA talent, but the way he keeps himself in shape is absolutely phenomenal. So, but yeah, I'm talking about just such a fall from grace for a first ballot Hall of Famer, a player who was on the top 75 all-time list. And I didn't have a problem with him being on the top 75 list. I had more of a problem with Anthony Davis being on the top 75 list than Russell Westbrook, because Russell Westbrook's always available. He plays, but it's just crazy because as far as any other news with the NBA, it's pretty much, to me, it's all quiet because, of course, there's new trade scenarios for Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving all the time. The Miami Heat are now trying to put together a package for Kevin Durant, but I don't know how it's going to happen because the Nets want a king's ransom and then some. They looked at the trade with Rudy Gobert, and that kind of screwed everything up because I'm pretty sure the Nets, and again, I've made my stance clear. If I'm the Nets ownership, I grow a pair, and I'm not trading Kevin Durant anywhere. Biatch. Anywhere. I've heard Kyrie to the Nets. Kyrie to the Heat for Kyle Lowry. It's funny because my boys who I was playing Spade with, Marcus and Aaron, they're both Miami Heat fans, and both of them said, nope, I don't want Kyrie. I don't want Kyrie on my team. I was like, damn. But Kyrie's made Kyrie has brought that perspective on himself. But the Russell Westbrook thing, it's just crazy. It's just crazy because, him and Kyrie Irving, they're both pretty much devalued players right now, but for totally different reasons. Kyrie is devalued because of his attitude and his lack of being on the court. Russell Westbrook is devalued because of his performance on the court and his lack of self-awareness to say, hey, maybe I need to change up my game. I'm getting a little long in the tooth. I'm not as athletic as I used to be. And maybe I should accept a lesser role. But athletes, especially highly successful athletes, have egos. They have egos that can sometimes be to their own detriment. And I hope Russ, wherever Russ plays at, I hope he has a bounce back year, but there are definitely some things that he needs to look in the mirror and say, I need to do this different. Like simple things like ball security, free throws, bro, if you're not a three-point shooter, don't force it. But damn, there was a point in time where Russell Westbrook was an 80+% free throw shooter. What the hell happened? That's just concentration and discipline, and just a lack of taking your craft as serious as you need to take it. To be honest with you, that's just my personal opinion. Now, as far as LeBron James goes, LeBron James made some noise, some segue when on the shop. He said, they were asking him a question about which cities has a fan base that can kind of take games from you. He said Boston. And he was like, well, why do you hate Boston? He said, because Boston is racist as fuck. Now, I have seen people trying to trash LeBron because of his opinion on Boston. I'm going to tell you something. Boston, while people in Boston will fight and defend their position on it, LeBron's encounters and his experience with Boston could very well have been racist. I'm not going to sit here and say, no, LeBron, Boston ain't racist. You can't say that. I've never been to Boston, and I don't like Boston. I mean, for real. Honestly, and because I've heard the racist stories, LeBron James is not the first athlete to say Boston is racist, and I'm pretty sure he's not going to be the last athlete to say Boston is racist. You can't sit here and down what he said, giving his opinion because of what he's experienced himself playing in Boston. And guess what? Boston may be racist as fuck. Like I said, I've never been there. No, my dad graduated from Boston University. And when I first started hearing athletes and just in general speak about Boston in a racist tone, I would ask him. It's like, and mind you, he was in college in the 70s. So I said, well, was Boston racist like that? He's like, oh yeah, it had its sections. It had its areas that were very, very highly racist. I've even went as far as calling Boston Mississippi North. So I'm not going to sit here and criticize LeBron James for saying that about Boston, because I remember when he was in Miami and he had a beer and somebody poured a beer on his head in Boston when he's walking to the tunnel. I'm like, whoa, that's just disrespectful. And again, he's not the first athlete. I remember it was, what was his name? Adam Jones. I believe he played for the Baltimore Orioles, who came out publicly and said all of the racist things that Boston fans would say to him. And this was, mind you, this was stuff that's going on this century. It's been well documented what Bill Russell had to go through playing for the Boston Celtics back in the 60s. So I understand that majority of the people in Boston probably are not racist. But man, the ones who are out of pocket like that, they mess it up for you. What do they say? One bad apple spoils a bunch. I mean, what else can you say about that? So, LeBron's entitled to his own opinion, and we saw how out of pocket Boston fans with the Warriors during these finals that just passed. The way they were throwing shots at Steph Curry's wife and Draymond Green. And I understand fanfare, blase. But I definitely believe that Boston is out of pocket. And I do believe that they think they can say whatever the hell they want to say out their mouth. That's just my opinion on that. Now, this situation involving the Jazz listening to offers for Donovan Mitchell is interesting because it's widely known that the New York Knicks would love to get Donovan Mitchell. New York has been searching for that next level star. Like, Julius Randle became so beloved after one season and being in the MVP conversation. And then last season, kind of flaming out, that you started to see Julius Randle and a couple of people at Utah games trying to recruit Donovan Mitchell. Now, Donovan Mitchell is from New York. His father works with the New York Mets. What are you willing to give up? What are you willing to give up? Because again, that Rudy Gobert trade kind of screwed up everybody, but do the Knicks go that far as compensating Utah 5 first-round picks or something like that, the way Minnesota did for Rudy Gobert, and that's just one of the all-time dumb trades that I've seen. And now, will it work out for the Timberwolves? Only time will tell. But I tell you what, if Donovan Mitchell went to the Knicks, they would not be a great defensive backcourt with him and Jalen Brunson, but the Knicks would be worth watching, and Donovan Mitchell would be vaulted to being a megastar in New York. Now, the question is, do you view Donovan Mitchell as a player that you can build an NBA championship team around? Most people have said no. Most people don't believe that about Donovan Mitchell, that they would think that he'd be better served as a second option, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, ultra successful players have ultra successful egos. If Donovan Mitchell, I'm sure Donovan Mitchell probably has heard that. Does that affect his ego? When you hear people say, hey, we think you'd be best served as a number 2 option on a championship team, does that hurt his pride? Because the Utah Jazz, one thing they've done, particularly over the last couple of seasons, is flame out. And Utah, and I believe Danny Ainge is listening to offers about Donovan Mitchell, because I think Utah is now going to be in full rebuild mode. I really do. Because a couple of years ago, when Utah was the number 1 seed in the West, and they lost to the Los Angeles Clippers after Kawhi Leonard got hurt, the writing to me was on the wall then. And now Quinn Snyder has resigned, and Quinn Snyder's a damn good coach, but that team, that particular team, probably was at its apex in the 2021 season when they were the number 1 seed coming out of the Western Conference. And now I think they're going to be in full rebuild mode. Now, again, do you think Donovan Mitchell is a guy who can lead a team to a championship? When I first saw Donovan Mitchell in 2018, the first thing I said was, oh, he reminded me of Dwayne Wade. Now, I saw Dwayne Wade do it. That was a long time ago. That was a different NBA. Can you do that? And like I said, if he goes to the Knicks, they will have a significantly small backcourt. Now, I have heard some things about Donovan Mitchell possibly even going to the Miami Heat, but, they're actively trying to get Kevin Durant. But if you put Donovan Mitchell with Jimmy Butler and Bam, but see, my thing is, would Utah want back Bam in a trade? Because if you're Utah and you're going in full rebuild mode, then what do you want Bam for? And here's one thing that Danny Ainge has to understand. He used to run everything out there in Boston. He's very good exec for the Boston Celtics. He better understand that he better hit on his draft picks, because what notable free agents want to go to Utah? Think about it. What notable free agents chooses Utah as a destination? This ain't Boston, bro. Honestly. And because of, Boston may be the best sports town in America. Who are you getting to come to Utah? Utah could trade Donovan Mitchell to the Knicks, and between him and Gobert, who knows, the Jazz could have 11, 12 first-round picks. They could have enough first-round picks for a whole damn roster change. I would like to see Donovan in New York just because basketball is fun when New York is relevant. Look, the Yankees are kicking ass right now. The Knicks have been behind the 8 ball since the days of Patrick Ewing. So I would like to see him go to the Knicks. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I see that as being more realistic than him possibly going to the Miami Heat. I've even heard things as far as, hey, Donovan Mitchell to the Lakers for Russell Westbrook. Like I said earlier, nobody wants Russell Westbrook's contract. Now, if Donovan Mitchell was a Laker, would I like to see that? Sure. He's a very exciting player. Like I said, he reminds me of Dwayne Wade. And he would essentially be probably the third. He would essentially become the third option, or if he went to the Lakers, behind Bron and AD. But I would like to see him go to the Knicks, because the Knicks fan base would embrace him. Like I said, he's homegrown, even that, and to me that doesn't mean anything, because Russell Westbrook is from LA and he just had the worst season of his career. So I don't, necessarily always buy into that. I'm going home, blah, 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 blah. But it was just interesting because just, a month ago, it was widely known that, nope, not trading Donovan Mitchell, not even listening to offers. Then the Gobert trade happens, and now all of a sudden, hey, we'll listen to offers for Donovan Mitchell. And the Knicks had jumped right into the forefront saying, hey, how do you feel about playing at Madison Square Garden? So that's, to be continued. But for the most part, as far as basketball, everything has been all quiet on the front because, the Kevin Durant situation has gotten nowhere. Just a bunch of hearsay and talk. Same thing with Kyrie Irving. And now is with Donovan Mitchell. And there's some people who are looking at it as a foregone conclusion that Donovan is going to get traded to the Knicks. I don't know. Like I said, I'd like to see him end up there, but we'll see. We'll see. Dog days of summer, baby. Dog days of summer. We want our football. The baseball all-star game is tomorrow. I may check out an inning or two, but it's my birthday, so we'll see. We shall see indeed. But I hope everything works out for all these trades because, I was an NBA head. Like, I was almost like an NBA junkie. And the NBA isn't fun to me like it used to be. And like I said, I don't have a problem with player empowerment. Now, mind you, Donovan Mitchell hasn't come out and requested or demanded a trade. This is all coming from upstairs management. But the NBA, to me, personally, is not as fun as it used to be because, things are pretty much getting, like the Wild Wild West. There's no loyalty to anybody, not from team, not from player. And the actual ratings are starting to show that as fans are kind of getting a little tired of it. But like I said, I hope everything works out. But the bottom line is I want my damn football back. And with that being said, where the buzzer. Oh, again, I had such a good time over this weekend, Saturday night and Sunday. I'm telling you, man, your boy be throwing down. Your boy can cook. Let me tell you what I cooked yesterday. I had a hot dog, hamburgers, bratwurst, a.k.a. sausage. I fried some chicken strips, and I make my chicken strips just like Popeyes make theirs. Boy, your boy got skills. I'm trying to tell you. Somebody one day gonna love it and appreciate it, man. I'm trying to tell you something, that boy. Because when I first started cooking, I was like, well, first of all, I told everybody I'm gonna get started around 3 o'clock. I know black people. 3 o'clock is like code for 5 o'clock. I already know. So it gave me time to where I can cook. I started cooking in around like 1:30, 1:45. I finished as far as hot dogs, hamburgers, sausage, chicken. I finished all of that stuff by about 3:30. Right after and then once I got all of that stuff, I put ribs on the grill because I knew that was going to take some time. But right after I got myself all cleaned up, showered up, and changed my clothes, I was, thinking, damn, maybe I cooked too much food. But that's when the people started coming over. By the time everything was said and done, damn near everything was gone, and it was wonderful. It was wonderful because your boy got them skills now, boy. Only thing that didn't go my way yesterday was I got my ass beat in spades. Got my ass whooped in spades. Marcus, Rock, I'm going to get y'all. Don't worry. Y'all going to come see me again. And I'm going to get your ass next time, you understand? Week 1 NFL season, bruh. I'm going to get your ass. I'm going to get you. But anyway, definitely hit that subscription button and become part of the Sports Plus Life and Brandon Brevon Towns family. I did a playlist strictly for my birthday. I did. And it's stuff that I like to hear, but it's still banging. I had that joint playing. It's over almost 5.5 hours. Had it playing the entire time. We was just having a good time. But definitely hit that subscription button, hit that like button, and I didn't give my shout outs to everybody. Shout outs to all of my family, my fam, and my HS fam. We all fam. Just shout out to everybody. I hope everyone has a lovely, wonderful, and safe week. It's your boy Brandon Brevon Towns. It's my birthday tomorrow. Man, so blessed. But I'm out this. Peace. Love you guys.